Hello, third grade, and we are going to be looking at relating multiplication and division and using strategies to help with that. Let's go ahead and begin.
There are enough drums for a very large marching band.
How can multiplication facts help you divide? Think about this question during the lesson. This array can show the relationship between multiplication and division. How does this array show multiplication?
I want you to write down on a piece of paper or your whiteboard how this would show a multiplication problem. Pause the video and write it out. You can also write it out on your worksheet. So you can see that there are 1, 2, 3 rows and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 columns. Now I can count by tens to find the total. 10, 20, 30. My total is 30. Check and see if you got the same one.
This array has 3 rows of 10 drums, so it shows the multiplication equation 3 times 10 equals 30. There are 30 drums in all. How does this array show division? This array has 30 drums in 3 equal rows. So it shows the division equation 30 divided by 3 equals 10.
The total divided by 3 rows equals 10 in each row.
There are 10 drums in each row. What other multiplication and division sentences could you write based on arrays?
Let's try some out. So showing 1 times 6. Let's use an array to show 1 times 6. Make sure you can see this. So we can do 1 row of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 1 row of 6. That's an array showing 1 times 6. Let's try another one. 2 times 8. You have 2 rows and there are 8 in each. 2 rows with 8 in each. I can also say there are 16 total counters, and there are 8 groups of 2. I could also say there are 2 groups of 8. There are 4 ways we can write fact families with multiplication and division. Let's look at 3 times 10. You can have 3 groups with 10 in each, showing 3 times 10 equals 30. You can also show 10 groups, if you're going down this way, 10 groups of 3. At the bottom of your page, where it says convince me, it says 4 times 7 equals 28 is one fact in a family. Draw an array for this fact. Write the other 3 facts in the fact family. So we're going to look at that one together. So we need to draw an array of 4 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, with 7 in each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I added an extra one on accident. All right, there's my array of 4 times 7 equals 28. Now remember, the factors can be flipped because of the commutative property. So if 4 times 7 equals 28, that means that 7 times 4 equals 28. So those are our first two sentences in our fact family. Now to change it to division, you take the largest number, and that becomes our first number. We call that first number our dividend. Dividend. Dividend is not at the end. Dividend is at the beginning. So we put the dividend first, and then we can divide by the groups. And that will equal our columns. Remember, our last number we call a quotient. Quotient, you can say that out loud to practice, quotient. And like we just learned, our first number, our largest number in a division sentence is called our dividend. Our dividend. Now the commutative property also applies to division, but you change, we call this our divisor, and our quotient can flip. Always, always, always our first number, our dividend in our division sentence stays the same. Always, always, always in our multiplication sentence, our product stays the same. So I'm going to keep that the same, and then I can switch my divisor and my quotient. So this is a full group of fact families. There are 4 number sentences in a fact family. We're going to work on our guided practice together, and then you'll be able to practice some fact families below. Look at the fact family for 3, 10, and 30 on page 170, what we just looked at with the drums. What do you notice about the products and the dividends? And that's what we just practiced. Remember, products are the answer to a multiplication problem, and dividends are what we start with. So let me write those two out. If you have 3 times 10 equals 30, and 30 divided by 3 equals 10. I'll have to write that divided by symbol. What is similar about the product and the dividend? They always stay in the same place. They stay in the same place. So you can write that out on your page. Number 2, is 4 times 6 equals 24 part of the fact family for 3, 8, and 24? No, it would not be. Our fact families always use the same 3 numbers. So if we look back on our prior page, the 3 numbers we use in this fact family was 4, 7, and 28. And every one there is 4, 7, 28, 4, 7, 28, 4, 7, 28. There are only 3 numbers in a fact family. So that means if 3, 8, and 24 are not the same as this fact family. It is not a part of it. So the answer is no. They don't have the same factors. Now let's practice a couple of these. 3 times what equals 21? 21 divided by what equals 3? 7 times blank equals 21. 21 divided by 7 equals what? Now to help us identify the 3 numbers, we can highlight. So I have 3 is one factor. My second factor is 21. And what do you think my third factor is? 7. In each number sentence, I need all 3 of those. So my first number sentence, 3 times what equals 21? I'm missing my 7. So 3 times 7 equals 21. I can write that in. In our second number sentence, 21 divided by 3 equals, I'm missing my sentence. I have 21, 3, and 7. 7 times what equals 21? I have 21, I have 7. I need to have my 3 as another factor. 21 divided by 7 equals 3. Let's try the second one together. Our 3 factors. We have 2 is our first factor. Our second factor is 18 for our products and our dividends. And 9. 2, 9, and 18. So I need to make sure that every number sentence has a 2, a 9, and an 18. 18, 2, oh, I'm missing a 9. 18, missing a 2. 18, 9, missing a 2. Our last one, 2 times what equals 20? I have 20 as a dividend in a product. That's my first number in my fact family. I have 2. And my third is 10. 2, 10, and 20. And I know that 2 times 10 equals 20. I have all 3 of those numbers, 2, 10, and 20. 20, 2, 10. 10 times 2 equals 20. 20 divided by 10 equals 2. In this bottom section right here, you are filling in the same numbers. In this second section, you are going to be writing out the fact families. Now, the easiest way to do this would probably be on your piece of paper. You might need more room, so you could write them down below. I'm going to just zoom in really far for mine. So it says write fact family. So I can start with my 2 factors, my smaller numbers. 6 times 7, might make this a little thinner, equals 42. And I know if I flip those using the commutative property, that also equals 42. Now for my 2 division sentences, I start with my largest number, and I can divide that by the divisor, and that equals the quotient. Remember, the divisor and the quotient can be flipped. The dividend stays the same. So these are all of our fact families. So you'll finish for the rest of 9 through 13 and 6 and 7, and then you'll be done with our math skill for today.